You know what happens is that we're down in Georgia, right? And we're doing the scene, that famous scene where Al Haig says, "I'm in charge here." So there are like 40 extras. They're all from Georgia. And then he walks in, and it's as if Christ himself walked into the room. You know, they all want to touch him and so on. And so he has a very profound effect on his fans.
Well, I'm an old history teacher. I used to teach high school history, so I like all this. I mean, I'm like a wonk, and this is fun for me. I think Reagan is a unique individual. As I said, he brings a skill set that nobody has or nobody has had since.
He treated the presidency like a performance, and he was aware of the stagecraft of a speech from the Oval Office and an evening ceremony or giving a speech. He was always there. He always rehearsed. He was always very conscious of the performance of being the president. Now, I think when he was leaving office, somebody once said, "I don't know how an actor can be president." And he said, "I don't know how anyone can be a president who isn't an actor."
It was a real challenge that I had, in that her face, she was a person of tremendous anxiety, tremendous nerves and nervousness. And so I think she worked so hard on that, and she made herself so still. That was a real challenge for me. That was a real challenge.
Well, that to me was a really interesting part, because I didn't really know a whole lot about him. So I read both of his books, Caveat, and then another memoir book that he wrote. I can't remember the name of it right now. But what was good about it is I kept hearing him in my ear. And I had clips of him and stuff like that. But he was an incredible man. And then when you find out of how the whole In Control Here Now was spun by the media and all that was really fascinating, because it had nothing to do with his intent of what he was doing. But he was quite a man of great character and dignity and great accomplishment, too.
You know what I really found interesting was he was widely credited for the rest of his life for saving the president's life, which he did. I mean, he made split-second calls that did that, but then, he never felt like that was the case. Like, his position, I understand, was that, a little, guilt that he got shot on his watch.
It was fun, and working with Rod Lurie was wonderful, and he's so well versed on everything about the movie and the book. And he kept saying, "Well, do you want me to get Ed Meese on the line?" And you're not going to do that to any of the other actors, are you? Because pretty much everybody else is gone. But it was fun. It was fun to play dress up and get really, fantastic presidential seal cufflinks and things like that.
He nails it so well that it becomes a complete inhabitation of a human being. And what's lovely is that he did something that nobody else has done. He learned how Ronald Reagan breathed.
He was had a very strong breathing pattern, and you could find the breath in his speeches and in his. So that's what I tried to find, the way the sentences were put together and where the beats were and the breaks were. And then I learned that he had tremendous breath control. I mean, he was great, and so he didn't, and that's an experienced actor. So that helped me.
Right. I mean, he's just such a charming, handsome, sexy man. And he has the thing that Reagan had, which is that he just puts you at ease. He gives you the sense that everything is going to be all right. And so I think that Nancy needed that very much, the feeling that everything was going to be all right. But I still think she didn't relax into it. It made her vigilant. She was like, I have to make sure that everything is really going to be all right, so he doesn't ever get shaken from that belief.
I said that I don't think he was out, he wasn't saying, I'm going to go hurt someone, He was saying, I want to be with this person, and in his mental state, the way to be with that person was to do something so big that they'd be on the same level. So, and so taking the president out was that way to get Jodie Foster to notice him. Was not anyone that wasn't, mentally ill would have known that was not the way to go about it. I think the Secret Service has said they're never really going to not have an eye on John Hinckley.